Meg, you can start now.
Okay, my name is Margot Gorman, and today I'll be presenting about my dream school. A little bit of background on myself. I attended two small Catholic schools. I attended a small Catholic elementary school called St. Charles, which my graduating class only had about 50 kids, give or take, and only 19 of those were girls. So it was a very uneven ratio. And then my high school, I also attended a small Catholic high school called Holy Name. It was a college preparatory high school, and my high school graduating class only had 150 kids in it. Maybe a little less, but for like the area that I live in, that's not very many people at all. The school that I would create, it would be a private co-ed school, like I have attended my whole life. Students would go through an application and interview process to get in, so that I would be able to see like the hardworking and like intellectual abilities of them. And although it would be private, scholarships would be available to those who need them, because just because it's a private school and you'd have to pay for it, I don't want that to like stand in the way or stand in the way of us missing somebody because of like financial needs or something. So scholarships would be available if I saw potential in them, or if they were like very smart and hardworking, that they would still be able to attend these schools. It would be a high school, so it would be grades 9 through 12, and it would also be a boarding school because I feel like if you're living on campus of your school, you'd be able to focus more on your academics and your extracurricular activities, and you won't have as much distraction that you would at home. The campus would be a small campus. I like to think that it would kind of be set up like how Mount Union is, small and like everything, you're able to walk to like everything very simply. It would include dorms, academic buildings, a state-of-the-art theater, and state-of-the-art athletic complex. Extracurricular activities would be required for all of the students. I believe that being in extracurricular activities teaches you hard work and determination, and it also gives you a passion for something, so this would be a requirement. Students would be able to choose from either like a sport, dance, theater, singing, playing an instrument, art. We'd offer many different choices so that they would have something to choose from. And extracurriculars also show that the student is well-rounded, and they also look good when you're applying to colleges and for jobs when you're older. And also, because of extracurricular activities would take up a lot of time, tutors would also be available to the students if they needed it to help keep them up on their studies while also participating in their activities. I wanted to create a healthy environment, stress-free, because I know my experience through high school, I was always very stressed with the courses that I was taking, trying to get good grades, be in extracurricular activities, have a job, have a social life. So I wanted to create a stress-free environment, so I also believe that a boarding school would help that because students wouldn't have a need to have a job because everything would be provided to them on campus. And I also want to create a family away from home type of environment because you're at a boarding school and you're not with your family at all times. You do kind of get homesick, so I wanted to create a family-like environment. And one way I would do that is everybody in the school would be required to eat dinner together. Obviously, you can't all sit at one table, but there would be one specific time for dinner so that everybody would meet at that time, and you can like see everybody and just catch up on on your day with everybody, just like you would at home with your family. A typical school day would start at 9 a.m. It would go from 9 to 12. They would have 3 classes, 45 minutes each, with 15 minutes in between to get to your different class. At 12, they would break for lunch. They would have an hour for lunch, so they would always also have free time if they needed to like work on homework before class or anything. They would have that hour to do it. And then classes would resume again, and they would have class from 1 to 3 with the same structure, 45 minutes with 15 minutes in between. Once classes are over, practices and rehearsals would begin at 3:30 and would go till around 5:30. Depending on the day, they could be shortened. And then once they're free from practice or rehearsal, dinner would start at 6, which students would be expected to attend. Once dinner is over, the students would be free to do whatever they wish, and they would be expected to spend at least about an hour working on their homework and studying. And then the weekends would be reserved for practices, studying, and having fun with friends. I want to build a reputation for my school to be a college preparatory school. With the schedule I've created and the environment that I intend on having, it would be not only like physically preparing them for college by setting up the campus that way, but it would also be like classes helping them decide what they would want to major in when they're older. Like that's also like what I said. It would help them not physically, or not only physically, but like mentally, educationally. In the freshman year, students would take like the Common Core of classes, where they would have a variety. They could take, so they'd be taking like their math, science, history, trying to give them like an idea of what they want to do when they're older. Sophomore year is when they would eliminate one aspect of that they know they don't want to go into. They know that it wouldn't help them with their major at all when they're in college. So they would kind of eliminate an aspect and like close in on what they think that they would like to do in college. Like sophomore year, during their junior year, they would eliminate another aspect. And they would take classes more focused on what they think that they would want to do when they go into college, so that they're taking classes that will prepare them for the classes that they'll be taking in college. The first semester of their senior year will ultimately give them an idea of what they would like to major in college. There'll be a lot of classes focused towards those to prepare them so that when they go into college, they're prepared for the classes that they need to take for their major and that their grades will be good. The second semester of their senior year will be used for internships and giving the students real-world experience, because I know, for example, that real-world experience and internships always look good on college applications and job applications when you're older, because it shows that you have experience and you know what you're going to be doing when you graduate.